Living Local Carolina with Katie Turner. Local trends, shopping, dining, and more. This is Living Local Carolina.
I'm so excited to be joined by Chef Sean Baxter. So, what's the second thing you're going to be making
Okay,
for
so
me?
the second dish that we're going to try to make for you guys today is going to feature two local products. One of them is going to be our local shrimp, and like I said earlier, it took me 2 years to source this shrimp to find them in the same size, uniform, that will look aesthetically what we're looking for and have all of the requirements we have, you know, which is local, fresh, things like that. The company that I sourced them from is known as the Woods Fishery, and they've actually been in business since 1860. So over 145 years of customer service.
They know their stuff.
These are wild caught American shrimp. They're caught off of Tybee Island, Georgia.
Okay.
Okay. The second product we have is we're going to use a purple grit. Okay.
Gorgeous.
And that is from Jacksonville, Florida. And I believe
Cool.
that they're grown and manufactured in Florida, and then they're sent to Charleston for packaging.
Okay,
So
sweet.
it's kind of like a double kiss on that one. So this is what they look like. Now listen, they're a little smaller than the shrimp that you might see in some places where they're really big. Well, due to the way we get them, there's nothing added to them. They're not treated with chemicals.
Yeah.
So they're smaller, but they're fully packed with flavor, and they're absolutely delicious.
All right.
Okay?
And who doesn't love shrimp and grits, you know,
right?
especially here in the
Classic dish.
South?
This is what they're gonna look like after you take them off and clean them and shell them up.
You start with the grits?
We're gonna go ahead. You want to cook your grits because your grits will take you about 40 minutes to cook to make true grits, real grits. You can use instant grits if you want. That's up to you. So you got to make sure that your stock or water, you can cook it in either one, is boiling. Chicken stock would be your most neutral. So we have our water nice and boiling, and we're gonna use water because a lot of our guests might be vegetarian. So they'll be able to eat it if I don't use stock. Right, so you're gonna wanna make sure your water's boiling and seasoned. You're just gonna go ahead and incorporate your grits in as fast as your water will take them, meaning don't have them start clumping up on you, okay?
Yeah.
And make sure that you whisk it, okay, continuously and until it's thicker, and then once it's thicker, you're gonna turn it down.
Gotcha.
Okay.
And that's when it starts cooking for a long time.
Yes. All right. So.
All right, make me these shrimp.
So I'm gonna cook the shrimp now. I'm gonna sear the shrimp. So once again, I'm gonna want a nice hot pan, saute pan, cast iron skillet. I always season my shrimp before I put them in, or before I put them in the pan. I think it's easier to coat them evenly. Some people do them the opposite way. All right, so you can use a couple different things to cook your shrimp. You can use olive oil or a blended oil, butter. I like to use a combination.
Gotcha.
Gives it a little more color and a little more flavor. I'm gonna go ahead and whisk this. Okay, so first I'm gonna put a little olive oil in the pan. Not too much because we're not frying them. Okay. Add my butter. Let this come up to the heat.
What do you want on
Yeah,
the
there you
plate?
go. Yeah. All right, you hear that sizzle? We're getting close to the cook time. You don't want to just throw them in. You can if you want. I don't like to. I like to lay them in like that. You hear that noise? A sizzle? That's what you're looking for.
Yeah.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
Well, thanks once again for joining us today on Living Local Carolina. I'm Katie Turner, and I'm wearing pink for a reason today. I'm joined in studio by Michelle Apple. How are you?
Fantastic, thank you.
Okay, so you are the founder of the ABC Warrior Foundation. What does that stand for?
The Apple Breast Cancer Warrior Foundation.
All right, so tell me your story.
So I'm actually, this week is kind of ironic, I'm a 5-year breast cancer survivor. So I made it to 5 years, which is a huge milestone for many breast cancer patients. So when I got my diagnosis, I always knew I wanted to do more. I didn't want to be defined by breast cancer, but I've seen so many financially having a hard time with the financial bills in addition to advocating and educating. So during my journey, I decided to start a foundation, a 501c, to help other breast cancer patients as they're going through this long journey, because it's emotional, it's financial. And so I decided to start the foundation under those things so that we could help them.
It's got to be surreal going from being the patient to being able to really pay it forward to people.
Absolutely, I wanted to advocate because in the beginning my diagnosis was missed, so I had a very small lump under my armpit, and I think it's good for the viewers to know that I just got a standard mammogram, and unfortunately they missed it, and I should have had an ultrasound.
Wow.
And that's the other reason to advocate for the foundation, right? I want to educate and tell folks. Not that you have a crystal ball that it could stop it, but maybe we could have caught it earlier. We know with breast cancer, early detection and treatments are huge.
Huge.
So with that, after my mom got diagnosed with bile duct cancer, I then took care of myself. She passed away. We were taking care of her, and I got shingles, and it grew actually on my breast. And I thought, well, you know, I should get this checked out. So after she passed, I did, and that's when I found out I was stage 3. It has metastasized into 23 lymph nodes, full mastectomy, 6 months chemo, 3 months radiation, and then just recently I had my ovaries removed, and then continued medication. So many cancer patients don't get to ring the bell. So many of those I want to advocate and help and do the comfort bags that we're going to talk about at the next summit to kind of bring a smile to their face.
Now, for people that want to stay updated with you and help out throughout the year, I mean, you have so many things planned on the calendar. How can they stay in touch with you?
Absolutely. So we have a website. It's www.applebcwarrior.com, or they can certainly email me at michelleapple71@iCloud as well.
Well, this might be the most relaxed I've ever been filming a segment. I am at Salt and Detox Oasis with Fabiola. Thanks so much for having me today.
Thank you for being here, Katie.
My goodness. Okay, we first have to address that if you hear some humming in the background, there's a reason for that. Fabiola, what is going on that is causing this noise?
So right now the Halo generator is on. So it is a machine that I use with sodium chloride. The sodium chloride is grounded into very fine particles, and those particles are dispersed into the air. So that is the benefit of the room, where you're breathing that type of salty air, which helps to coat the nasal passages, the bronchial tubes, as well as your lungs, and it acts as a cleaning agent for your respiratory system. So if you do suffer from allergies, bronchitis, or other common respiratory, concerns, or even like the after COVID effects, it's a great way to help relieve your respiratory system and also clean and hopefully enhance it.
This is so cool to be able to walk on salt. You're breathing it in.
Yes.
But it's also the aesthetics of being in here. It's so relaxing.
Yes, it is. So in the process of building this room, really wanted to make it a relaxing environment for everyone who, enjoys this session. So it's really about helping everyone that walks through my doors and giving them relief, giving them a sense of peace, and hopefully they walk out feeling better and feeling that they're able to just conquer what they need to conquer, through the sessions that they experience here.
I know a lot of people watching right now are feeling that way. So if they want to come by and try this room out or try one of your other awesome services, how can they do that?
So I am located at 3885 Renee Drive in the Carolina Forest area. I am, I guess if you are familiar with like the Kroger Shopping Center, that's where you can find me. And my phone number is 843-742-5938. And the website is saltanddetoxoasis.com.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
This segment is sponsored by Palm Mechanics. Well, good morning and thanks for joining us today again on Living Local Carolina. Today I'm joined again by Matt Dix. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great. Now, you're the owner of Palm Mechanics and you're working on a job today. It's right behind us. Look
Yes,
at this
ma'am.
beautiful palm tree that you guys have been working on.
Yes, ma'am. We are actually doing some diamond cuts on some Pendo palms, as well as some full service on some Palmetto palms. We work with all species of palms, just get them in a thriving state.
Love it. So the reason why we're doing this segment today is we wanted to be able to show what the process looks like whenever you actually come out to somebody's house and work on these trees. What are some reasons why your customers have called Palm Mechanics instead of trying to do this themselves?
One of the bigger reasons we find is lack of knowledge to the types of palm trees they have and how to care for them properly. Another real big reason is not having the proper tools. You know, we don't use chainsaws on our palm trees. We've spent years dialing in our handcrafted process. Another big reason is ladders. You know, some of these trees can get pretty tall and sketchy. Not to mention the amount of debris that come off of these trees. Transportation issues, no way to really haul this stuff away. Any of those reasons, we're here to help.
And we were looking at some of these palm fronds earlier. Is that what they're called?
These are actually
The
boots.
Boots. The boots.
Yes, ma'am.
He's all about the education, y'all.
Yes, ma'am. Let me grab
Show me one of
them
these
for you.
boots. This is why you shouldn't try to do it yourself. You're gonna get hurt.
These things can be pretty messy, pretty rough. If you'll notice, there's spikes on the side here that can cut you, have you bleeding. Also, you'll notice how it's real wet right here. These things actually act as a pocket holding the dirt, creating extra moisture issues, the bugs, the germination. So with us cutting these off, it's a diamond cut, cleaning these trunks up, we basically eliminate those pockets for the pest and get the tree overall just easier to look at and work with.
And I've said this before, but once you see what a good palm tree looks like, you never go back. He has ruined palm trees for me. Whenever I drive around, I know if he's done a palm tree or not. Because, I mean, look at this. It's ridiculous. It looks so much better. And it really just makes you happy to go in your yard.
It does. It does. Thank you.
All right, so you mentioned this before, but you guys do not use chainsaws for a number of reasons. What are some of those reasons?
One of the biggest reasons, really, this is just an example. This side here has been cut with a chainsaw. Looks like you put a beaver in the tree and let him chew on it.
It does.
This side here, super clean, easier to work with. That's our cut. It just makes a big difference on the tools you use and how to care for these trees properly. Tools is the big thing.
And it also gives you the freedom to be able to do these jobs, you know, later at night or early in the morning. We're not making hardly any noise right now, and it's pretty early.
Absolutely. We do night jobs. Some of our motels, when the pools close at night, we go in and we're able to do all of that. First thing in the morning, we kind of slide in, extremely quiet. All the tools we use don't make noise.
Love it. So if somebody's watching right now and they have a palm that they want you to come check out, what are the options on how they can get that taken care of?
We tried our best to make this process as easy as possible. Like most others, we do a on-site free evaluation estimate. And for some of our busier customers, I'd say, we have an online option. You can send us photos of the trees or trees you have concerns about, and we can do an evaluation that way. Basically, you can send us a photo via text, email. You can send us a photo online at our website, Facebook Messenger. whatever's easiest for you. Send those photos in, we'll give an evaluation, shoot you a price that same day. If that's something that we can lock in together, then we'll go ahead and get you set on the schedule. We have a new website, that's paulmechanics843.com, or you can give us a call at 843-455-4456.
Don't forget to like our page on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. How to use the QR code. Just open the camera app on your smartphone, iPad, or tablet. Point your device at the QR code so the QR code appears on your screen. Your device will recognize the QR code and show you a notification. Click that notification and you'll come to our website. Living Local Carolina, weekday mornings at 9:30 on WBTW News 13.